Thank you and welcome back to this final segment of the show for today. The topic is incarceration, and we're talking to Pastor Kevin Walker, president of the New Beginnings organization. And of course, Reverend Walker, before we had our final commercial break, we promised that we'd give you an opportunity to speak to the cost involved in this whole process of sending inmates, persons who have been paroled, and sending them back into jail on what you consider to be technical violations and et cetera, and the costs of that to the state of Tennessee and the correction system. Let's talk about that.
Okay, now according to the report that I have here from the TDOC, it says, according to the Board of Probation and Parole's fiscal year 1999-2000 annual report, for example, the board estimates more than $8 million in savings to the state via successful progressive interventions that kept parolees from returning to incarceration. So that's some money that can be saved in terms of programs being in place to help these individuals. Now, let me share this real quickly here also. Further, time to failure is an important measure of success. You know, we did 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year failure rates. Persons involved in a particular program, for example, may fail and be reincarcerated, but if that program is associated with a longer time to failure, it may be perceived as having accomplished something important. So what it's saying is that if a person is involved in a program, now, even though that person may happen to fail, you know, because all programs are not, you know, just foolproof and it's just going to automatically work and everybody go through the program is going to be successful. There are people that go through programs and fail even after completing the program on the outside maybe. But the thing is that if they go through a program, if they're out for 3 years and they've been out for 3 years, they apparently have been doing something right during that 3 year period of time. So if they do fail, that's still a measure of success in that incident also. So which further substantiate the need for programs. You can't say, well, you can't do these programs because they won't work. If a person comes out and goes through a program and he don't reoffend, because they say that most people reoffend within 15 months after their release, that's going to reoffend. So if this person can go for 3 years, then and without reoffending, then there is a measure of success in that program, which again further substantiate setting up program and the state rallying behind. We need the parole board to identify, recognize the New Beginnings organization as that program that's going to come in and help solve some of the problems, not all of it, of this revolving door syndrome. We are putting ourselves in position to impact these figures, to bring these figures down. We want a program that will not fail, but we know that there will be failures because people will come in for whatever reason and won't make it. But those that do make it, that's what we want to measure it by.
Well, let me raise this question here, because you continue to talk about programs and incarceration and et cetera. Do you believe, are you saying that for the most part there's a reluctance on the part of the correction system to invest in these kinds of programs, even though it might be said that, according to your report, that we might be able to save the citizens of the state of Tennessee millions of dollars just by having programs? And certainly these programs will not be that expensive. They don't cost that much, do they?
Especially if you're gonna have a nonprofit organization that's gonna come in and operate the program at no cost to the state. Only thing we're asking the state for is to allow us the opportunity to come in, utilize the state facilities that they're already there, and put our programs inside these various institutions throughout, so that those people can go through. We're trying to do a phase 1, phase 2, and a phase 3 MBO, maybe even another phase. We've got blueprint for housing, you know, that we're talking in terms of building. We want to implement a program where maybe 6 weeks before someone goes out, they can enter into that program and then phase out into our program, you know, to be furloughed out, to be transported to facilities that outside the institution to train them once they reach the minimum security status, and allow us to come in and to implement program. Give us a day of the week, give us some hours, give us some time to come in and set up our program and operate our program at no cost to the state.
Reverend Walker, over the last 2 minutes here, let me raise this question then. What can people do to assist you and the New Beginnings organization in trying to at least convince somebody that these programs are almost cost effective, and that there's a great possibility of them succeeding, and thereby saving the state some money. I mean, what can people do? What can you tell our audience that they can do to help you and others this morning in doing that?
We're looking for people that have the ability to perhaps maybe, write grants, do some research into different areas to help us come up with some stats to partner with us to get this thing done. We're looking for people that may have had people that was incarcerated in the system that are doing well, that can say, yes, you're right, people do change, they do well. We need those type of people to come forward to rally behind us. And of course, they can get in touch with us at 298-3591, or you can call 969-0725, and either number you'll get directly in touch with me. Right now, offices are set up in my home. That's where we're set up. We need office space and the like to get this thing up and going. We just need people that come with information, with knowledge that can help us network NBO and make it a household word.
Very good. And of course, let me thank you, Reverend Walker, over the last 30 seconds that we have here for coming by and giving us that information. We are especially encouraged by what you said about incarceration, because we certainly didn't know that it was the problem that you're pointing out here, that folks are actually released and then reincarcerated, and on many technical kinds of things that helps to raise the whole cost of the correction system for the citizens of the state of Tennessee. And I think that we're interested in anything that can lower that cost. And of course, let me thank you for coming by and giving us that information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.